Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what does it really mean to stay connected to my body as I age? Or why does society subtly suggest that after a certain age, we should detach from one of the most natural and personal aspects of our humanity, our intimate self-exploration? It's a topic that many shy away from, yet it holds incredible significance for our emotional well-being, physical health, and sense of self-worth. If you've ever felt uncertain, if you've ever questioned whether this aspect of life still belongs to you, then you are not alone. And today, we are going to talk about it, openly, honestly, and without shame. Why you need to watch until the end. This isn't just another surface-level conversation. In this video, we'll break down the scientific truths, the emotional realities, and the quiet struggles that many experience but rarely voice. You'll discover white heavy checkmark how intimate self-exploration evolves with age, and why it's not just about pleasure, but about maintaining a strong connection with yourself. White heavy checkmark the hidden health benefits, from improved circulation and hormone balance to stress relief and better sleep. White heavy checkmark the fine line between self-care and emotional dependency, how to recognize when it serves you and when it might be masking deeper loneliness. White heavy checkmark the most common myths and outdated beliefs that keep people stuck in unnecessary guilt or hesitation. White heavy checkmark the deeper emotional and psychological significance of reclaiming your body, your autonomy, and your right to self-love. This is your body, your life, your journey. So let's break the silence. Let's step into this discussion with wisdom, confidence, and self-compassion. Because understanding this part of yourself is not just about the past. It's about embracing the fullness of who you are, right here, right now. Now, take a deep breath, and let's begin. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. The truth about intimate self-exploration in later life. What you need to know. Now, let's take a deep, reflective breath and step into today's topic. One that I believe is profoundly important for every single one of us navigating this unique and often misunderstood stage of life. It's a subject that stirs curiosity, invites contemplation, and for some, is wrapped in unnecessary layers of shame or hesitation. But here, in this space that we've cultivated together, where wisdom meets honesty, and where understanding replaces judgment, we're going to talk about it with the depth, sincerity, and compassion it truly deserves. So, let's begin. What really happens when older adults engage in intimate self-exploration regularly? This is not just a theoretical discussion. It is deeply personal, deeply human. I want to address it not only from the lens of science, but also from a place of personal reflection, experience, and the countless conversations I've had with people just like you. People who seek clarity, reassurance, and the permission to embrace their own bodies without guilt or fear. The relationship with our bodies, a lifelong journey. First and foremost, let's set the record straight. Our relationship with our own bodies should never be a source of shame. In fact, it should be a source of pride, self-awareness, and gratitude. Too often, society has dictated rigid and unrealistic expectations about aging, subtly suggesting that past a certain number of years, certain aspects of life, intimacy, desire, and personal pleasure, should simply fade away, as though they are luxuries reserved only for the young. But let me ask you this. Why should we ever feel disconnected from the very vessel that has carried us through decades of experiences, through joys and sorrows, through struggles and triumphs? Why should we deny ourselves the right to continue exploring, feeling, and embracing the beauty of our existence? There is a quiet, yet powerful revolution in reclaiming our own bodies, understanding them, honoring them, and yes, continuing to experience moments of pleasure, release, and self-connection. The evolution of intimate self-exploration. Self-exploration is not something we suddenly stumble upon in our later years. It is a practice that follows us throughout life, evolving with each stage, adapting to our physical and emotional needs. In youth, it is a journey of discovery, a thrilling, sometimes awkward, sometimes exhilarating process of learning how our bodies respond to touch, sensation, and desire. It is a time of curiosity, of awakening, of understanding our physicality in ways that are new and exciting. In adulthood, it often becomes a tool for stress relief, an avenue for self-care, or a way to enhance our relationships with partners. It can serve as an emotional outlet, a moment of intimacy with ourselves, or a way to reconnect after the chaos of work, family, and responsibilities. But what happens when we reach our later years? Is this practice still beneficial? Is it still necessary? Does it still serve a purpose beyond nostalgia? Or could it, if not approached with care and awareness, become something that poses risks to our physical and emotional well-being? The science behind self-exploration in older adults. Let's turn to science, because research has a great deal to say about this. Studies in the fields of gerontology and sexology have revealed fascinating insights, ones that challenge outdated notions and reaffirm that aging does not mean the loss of self-connection. The benefits of moderate self-exploration among older adults are undeniable. Improved circulation. As we age, blood flow naturally decreases, which can lead to various health complications. Engaging in self-stimulation encourages circulation, particularly in areas of the body that require oxygen-rich blood flow to maintain function and vitality. Stress relief and emotional well-being. Physical pleasure triggers the release of endorphins and oxytocin, the so-called feel-good hormones that promote relaxation, reduce anxiety, and even improve sleep quality. Hormonal balance. Many people are unaware that regular intimate stimulation can help regulate hormones such as testosterone and estrogen, which naturally decline with age. This can contribute to overall well-being, helping with energy levels, mood stabilization, and even cognitive health. Maintaining a sense of self and bodily autonomy. One of the most overlooked aspects of aging is the feeling of detachment from one's own body. Changes in appearance, shifts in mobility, and the aging process itself can sometimes lead to a disconnect, making people feel as though they are no longer in control of their own physicality. However, engaging in self-exploration can reinforce a strong, positive relationship with the body, reminding us that we are still whole, still vibrant, still deeply human. The emotional and psychological aspects. But beyond the physical benefits, let's talk about the emotional and psychological side of things, because this is just as important, if not more so. For many older adults, self-exploration is more than just a private moment. It is an assertion of self-worth, an act of self-acceptance. It is a reminder that they are still deserving of touch, still capable of experiencing pleasure, still fully alive. In a world that often sidelines the desires of older individuals, reclaiming one's relationship with the body is an act of quiet rebellion, one that says, I am still here, I am still worthy, and I am still in touch with the essence of who I am. Yet, we must also be mindful. Like anything in life, balance is key. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. The risks of excessive self-exploration. While moderate self-exploration offers numerous benefits, excessive or compulsive behaviors can introduce certain risks, both physical and emotional. Physical concerns. As we age, our skin becomes thinner, our tissues take longer to heal, and sensitivity in some areas may change. Overstimulation, particularly in delicate regions, can lead to irritation, discomfort, or even micro-injuries that take longer to heal. Emotional dependency. While self-exploration can be a source of relief and comfort, it's important to ensure that it doesn't become a substitute for meaningful human connection. Loneliness is a silent epidemic among older adults, and while physical self-care is important, emotional well-being also depends on companionship, community, and engagement with others. Underlying psychological factors. If self-exploration shifts from being a source of comfort to a compulsive behavior, it may be worth examining whether there are deeper emotional wounds or unresolved anxieties driving the habit. Are we using it as a means of escaping loneliness? As a way to cope with stress or grief? Awareness is crucial. Embracing the conversation without shame. At the end of the day, this is a deeply personal topic, one that each individual must navigate for themselves. But if there's one message I want to leave you with, it is this. Aging does not mean losing touch with your body, your desires, or your right to experience self-love. Our bodies have carried us through decades of life. They have endured, they have adapted, they have been the vessel for our joys and our sorrows. And they continue to serve us, even in our later years. By listening to them, respecting their needs, and approaching self-exploration with mindfulness and self-compassion, we can ensure that this practice remains a source of well-being, rather than one of guilt or concern. So, I ask you, how do you view your relationship with your body at this stage of life? Do you honor it with kindness? Do you embrace its changes with gratitude? And above all, do you recognize that you are still, and always will be, deserving of self-love and connection? This conversation is not about shame. It is about empowerment. It is about embracing every chapter of life with dignity, confidence, and a deep appreciation for the body that has carried us this far. Let's keep this dialogue open, because self-discovery, self-care, and self-love do not have an expiration date. The emotional side of self-exploration, when it becomes more than just a physical act. While self-exploration has clear physical benefits, it is equally important to recognize the emotional and psychological aspects that come with it. Everything we do is interconnected. Our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors shape the way we interact with ourselves and the world around us. For some, self-exploration is simply a healthy and natural part of life, a way to maintain a sense of connection with their own body. But for others, especially those experiencing loss, loneliness, or emotional distress, it can become something else entirely, a coping mechanism, a replacement for deeper needs that go unfulfilled. This is where balance becomes essential. Like anything in life, too much of something, even something natural and beneficial, can have unintended consequences. Excessive dependence on self-exploration is often not about the act itself, but rather about what it represents. It can be a symptom of deeper emotional struggles, such as loneliness, anxiety, or even depression. To illustrate this, I want to share with you a story that has stayed with me for years, a story that speaks to the quiet battles many face behind closed doors. The story of Don Ernesto, searching for comfort in loneliness. There was once a man named Don Ernesto, a quiet and reserved gentleman who lived in a small neighborhood where everyone knew of him, yet few truly knew him. At 78 years old, he carried the weight of a long life filled with memories, both beautiful and painful. For decades, he had been a devoted husband, cherishing every moment with his wife, the woman who had been his anchor, his partner, his best friend. But when she passed away, his world seemed to shrink overnight. The house that once echoed with laughter, with shared meals and soft conversations, became unbearably silent. At first, he tried to maintain his old routines, waking up early, tending to the plants in his small garden, taking his morning stroll to the market where he'd chat briefly with the vendor he had known for years. But as time went on, the loneliness became heavier, pressing down on his spirit like a thick, unshakable fog. Slowly, his interactions with the world faded. He stopped tending to the garden. He avoided the market. He sat alone, lost in thought, reminiscing about a past that felt increasingly distant. And in that isolation, he turned to self-exploration, not as a means of pleasure, but as a desperate attempt to feel something, anything, that could fill the hollow space inside him. At first, it was occasional, a way to ease his restlessness. But soon, it became a habit, one that provided temporary relief but left him feeling even emptier afterward. He began noticing changes in himself. He felt perpetually drained, unmotivated, disconnected from the world beyond his four walls. Even the small pleasures he once enjoyed, watching the sunset from his porch, listening to music, reading the newspaper, no longer held the same warmth. His daughter, seeing the subtle yet undeniable shift in him, grew concerned. She knew that grief was a slow and complex process, but she also knew that isolation would only deepen the wounds left by loss. One day, with gentle persistence, She convinced him to attend a group therapy session for older adults, just once, just to see if it might help. He resisted at first. The idea of sitting in a room full of strangers, sharing personal thoughts, seemed daunting. But something in his daughter's voice, perhaps the quiet worry, the love, made him agree. That first session changed everything. He listened. He listened to others speak of their struggles, their grief, their longing for companionship. He realized he was not alone in his feelings. Slowly, as the weeks passed, he began to open up. He shared his own story, his sadness, his need for connection. He discovered that what he had been missing was not just physical touch but the warmth of human presence, the laughter of new friends, the comforting weight of shared experiences, the simple joy of being seen and understood. As time went on, something shifted in Ernesto. He found himself looking forward to his outings again. He started reading books that sparked his curiosity. He even picked up gardening once more, feeling the familiar, calming rhythm of soil between his fingers. And as he reconnected with life, he realized something profound. His body did not need as much physical stimulation as it needed companionship, laughter, and a sense of belonging. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. A deeper understanding. What this story teaches us. What can we learn from Ernesto's story? That often, what we seek through self-exploration is not just physical pleasure. It is a way to fill emotional voids that need to be addressed in other ways. This is not about condemning self-exploration, nor about instilling fear or guilt. Rather, it is about understanding its place in our lives and recognizing when it serves us and when it becomes a crutch for unmet emotional needs. There is a significant difference between using self-exploration as a way to connect with oneself and using it as an escape from deeper pain. When it becomes the primary source of comfort, replacing human connection, personal growth, or emotional healing, it may be a sign that something within us is yearning for more. The importance of balance. Nourishing the soul alongside the body. This brings us to something fundamental. Balance. Everything in life requires balance, and our relationship with our bodies is no exception. Self-exploration, when practiced with intention and moderation, can be a beautiful way to stay connected to our vitality, to remind ourselves that we are still complete and sensitive beings, even in our later years. But it should not be the only source of well-being. There are countless ways to nourish both the body and the soul. Walking outdoors, feeling the warmth of the sun, the fresh air against your skin, the simple pleasure of moving through the world. Reading a good book, allowing your mind to travel, to explore ideas, to engage with stories that inspire and uplift. Learning something new, a new skill, a new language, a new hobby, keeping the mind active and engaged. Having a conversation with a friend, a deep, meaningful talk, or a simple exchange of laughter and warmth. I remember a conversation I once had with a dear friend, Dona Clara, a woman of remarkable wisdom and grace. She told me something I will never forget. The body ages, but the soul does not. And it is the soul that has the power to guide how we take care of the body that has served us so well. Her words resonated deeply with me. So often, we focus only on what is happening externally, our wrinkles, our aches, the slowing down of certain functions. But we forget that we are more than just skin and bones. We are complete beings, with emotions, with thoughts, with an infinite capacity to learn, to grow, to adapt. A final reflection, embracing life in all its forms. As we navigate this stage of life, let us do so with awareness, with balance, and most of all, with self-compassion. Let us honor our bodies, but also our spirits. Let us embrace self-exploration as a part of our journey, while also recognizing when our hearts are craving something more, connection, companionship, new experiences. And above all, let us never forget that aging does not mean the loss of joy, of sensuality, of curiosity, or of the right to live fully. Because we are still here. And we are still whole. A final reflection, reclaiming balance and embracing new possibilities. If you find yourself at a stage in life where self-exploration has taken on a larger role than you ever expected, where it feels less like a natural expression of self-care and more like a refuge from something deeper, I invite you to pause, to breathe, to reflect, not with guilt, not with self-reproach, but with the kind of compassion you would offer a dear friend who is seeking clarity and understanding. Ask yourself, what else in life is calling for my attention, my energy, my heart? Are there joys I have unintentionally set aside? Are there friendships I have let fade that could still bring me warmth and connection? Is it time to open my heart to new relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or rooted in shared experiences and mutual understanding? When was the last time I did something simply for the joy of it? Self-exploration is just one way to experience comfort and connection with ourselves, but it is not, and should not be, the only way. We are multifaceted beings. We need more than physical release. We need emotional nourishment, intellectual stimulation, and soul-enriching experiences. And life, despite what the world often tells us, does not stop offering opportunities simply because we have reached a certain age. There is no expiration date on discovery, on passion, on human connection. The only thing required of us is the willingness to step forward, to embrace new experiences, to remind ourselves that every sunrise is an invitation to something beautiful. Aging, a time for growth, not shame. Dear listeners, let me say this loud and clear. Aging is not a time of decline. It is a time of transformation. It is a chapter where wisdom deepens, where perspective shifts, and where we are finally free to shed the burdens of societal expectations. It is not a stage where we should feel ashamed or limited, but rather a season of life where we can truly embrace who we are without apology. If self-exploration is something you choose to include in your life, let it be a practice rooted in respect, awareness, and self-honoring. Let it be something that adds to your well-being rather than something that detracts from the richness of life. But if you ever find that it is taking up too much space, if it has become a substitute for deeper emotional needs, remember that there are so many other ways to nourish your heart and soul. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Rekindling the fire of life. Ways to fill your days with meaning. When we talk about balance, we're not just talking about limiting certain behaviors. We're talking about expanding our lives, welcoming new joys, revisiting old passions, and discovering new reasons to get up in the morning with excitement. Here are some ways to reconnect with life and experience fulfillment beyond self-exploration. 1. Seek companionship and meaningful conversations. One of the greatest human needs is connection. Even if you are someone who enjoys solitude, there is something irreplaceable about sharing a meaningful conversation, a deep belly laugh, or even just a comfortable silence with someone who understands you. Call an old friend you haven't spoken to in years. Join a local club or group based on an interest you love: gardening, music, history, hiking, or even a book club. Consider attending community events or volunteer gatherings where you can meet new people with shared values. If you struggle with loneliness, seek out support groups for older adults. They can be incredible spaces to build relationships and feel truly seen. 2. Explore creativity and self-expression. There is a profound satisfaction in creating something, whether it's art, music, or even writing down your thoughts in a journal. Creativity is a way to express our emotions, our experiences, and our perspectives on the world. Try painting, sketching, or even adult coloring books to bring out your artistic side. If you enjoy music, pick up an instrument, sing, or simply create playlists that bring you joy. Writing is one of the most therapeutic activities. Start a journal, write poetry, or document your memories and life experiences for future generations. 3. Move your body and embrace the outdoors. Physical movement is about more than just exercise. It's about experiencing the world in a new way, feeling alive in your own skin. Take a daily walk, whether it's in nature, through your neighborhood, or at a local park. Try gentle movement practices like yoga or tai chi to improve flexibility and reduce stress. Gardening is an excellent way to connect with the earth, get fresh air, and feel a sense of accomplishment. If you enjoy dancing, put on your favorite music and let yourself move freely. 4. Learn something new and challenge your mind. We are never too old to learn. In fact, keeping our minds active is one of the best ways to maintain mental sharpness and a youthful spirit. Enroll in an online course or attend a local class in something that interests you: photography, history, a new language, or even technology. Read books that challenge and inspire you, opening new perspectives. Try puzzles, crosswords, or brain games to keep your mind engaged and sharp. 5. Practice acts of kindness and give back. There is no greater sense of fulfillment than knowing you have made a difference in someone else's life. Consider volunteering your time at a local charity, school, or community center. Offer mentorship to younger generations who can benefit from your wisdom and experience. Perform small, random acts of kindness, sending a letter, baking for a neighbor, or simply offering a warm smile to a stranger. The body ages, but the soul remains ageless. I once had a conversation with a dear friend, Donna Clara, a woman who had seen the world change before her very eyes, a woman who had lived through loss and love, through struggle and triumph. She told me something that I will never forget. The body ages, but the soul does not. And it is the soul that has the power to guide how we take care of the body that has served us so well. Her words resonated deeply with me. So often, we focus only on what is happening externally, our wrinkles, our aches, the slowing down of certain functions. But we forget that we are more than just skin and bones. We are complete beings, with emotions, with thoughts, with an infinite capacity to learn, to grow, to adapt. And that, my dear listeners, is the true essence of aging, not a process of decline, but a process of transformation. You are more than enough. If there is one thing I want you to take away from this conversation, it is this: you are still whole. You are still worthy. You are still capable of joy, passion, and connection. Your value is not diminished by age. Your desires, your needs, your hunger for life, these things remain, and they are valid. Whether it's through self-exploration, through human connection, through creativity, or through adventure, you deserve to feel alive. So, as you move forward, embrace your body with kindness, but also feed your soul. Seek balance. Seek meaning. Open your heart to the possibilities that still lie ahead, because life has not stopped offering them to you. No matter your age, no matter your past, life is still waiting for you to embrace it fully. We've covered a lot today, more than just facts and figures, more than just science and psychology. We've delved into something deeply personal, something that speaks to the very core of what it means to stay connected to ourselves as we age. So now, I want to turn the question over to you. What have you learned from this conversation? What insight resonated with you the most? What is one thing from this video that you will take with you and apply to your own life? I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Whether it's a realization about self-care, a shift in perspective, or simply the courage to embrace this topic with more openness, your voice matters. And remember, you are still whole. You are still worthy. You are still capable of joy, passion, and connection. Your journey of self-discovery does not have an expiration date. If this video spoke to you, please take a moment to leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps us continue creating meaningful conversations like this, conversations that challenge outdated beliefs, empower us with knowledge, and remind us that life is still ours to embrace. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this space. Until next time, take care of yourself, mind, body, and soul. Blue Heart.